Hello, I'm Phoenix. I use they, them pronouns.
And I'm Eve. I use any pronouns.
And this is Talkin in the Tavern.
Woo!
It's October.
Somehow.
Which is actually true for once.
I know! This is crazy!
I don't know whether to be proud that we're recording in the correct month or worried because it means we're recording later than normal.
Yeah. It's a two-way street a little bit. This never happens and it's terrifying. But that's perfect because it's woo season.
It's spooky time. I'm doing spooky hands.
Yeah, the little wiggly fingers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like I'm spooking you.
Exactly.
You know?
Oh my god. It's frightening. Stop doing it. You're
I've
scaring
stopped
me.
already. I don't know what's spooking you now, but it ain't me.
Welcome back. We are once again doing our different formatted episodes where we're going to go through what we are currently reading and all that good stuff.
Yeah,
surrounding reading.
Doing a little sort of roundup of our month in reading, as it were, which means, of course, that we have to start off as ever.
Oh no!
With
tell me
our current total books read for the year.
Yep. Just pull off the band-aid. Yep. Okay.
I'm on 86.
What?
86.
Genuine?
Yeah.
Holy.
I was on 72 last time, apparently.
Oh, that makes more sense.
So in the past, well, however long it's been since we recorded, because it'll be more than a month.
6 weeks. Yeah.
I've read 14 books, I can count. Most of which was September, I think. No, that's not true. I mean, the number's true.
This is a lie.
Not the September part. I didn't read very much in September.
I read nothing in September. I'm on 63, which is not bad. I've hit my reading goal. I read 12 books, technically, over 6 weeks. I'll take it.
Yeah. It's like, you know.
I hit my goal of 52. I'm happy.
Exactly.
I'm floating. Half of what I did last year, but still pretty damn good.
Yeah.
You know?
You've still got, 4 months to, build on it.
Oh yeah, this is the start of October.
Yeah.
You're so right. This counts as a whole month.
Wait, no, I'm not right. 3 months.
3 months.
Oh God.
Didn't pass maths.
I was great at maths like a decade ago.
I wasn't.
A lot has changed.
I never was.
Since I left secondary school.
A lot of the dark ages.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've read some pretty good stuff. I'm reading a lot of graphic novels at the moment, but and poetry books. I've gotten extremely into poetry at the moment.
Interesting.
Like crazy. I just finished A Swan's Neck on the Butcher's Block by Jenny Fagan. Very fun.
Interesting.
Very fun.
I don't think I've ever heard a Jenny Fagan book described as fun before.
Right, it's because it was kind of miserable. And it's exactly what I want from poetry, is slightly miserable poetry. You know?
Uh-huh.
That's how it makes it fun, right?
Sure, yeah.
I've never picked up a Jenny Fagan, so I was just like, oh, that looks fun. Because I like the cover of the swan, looking kind of distressed.
I mean,
nothing
makes me happier personally than a swan in distress.
Yes.
I don't like swans.
They're horrible. They're so mean.
Yeah, they're nasty bastards.
Yeah, they hiss at everyone.
Yeah.
One tried to take a finger off when I was a kid.
Same.
Really? Oh, nice. I like how it's a universal experience. Yeah. Oh my god, it's a universal experience of everyone trying to get a finger chopped off by.
Yeah, apparently so. Universal, because it's happened to both of us.
Both of us. At that, we were the only people.
Wow.
If you're listening,
if only somebody had made a
exist.
podcast that's about like a radio show about people at the end of the world or something.
Oh, I wonder who could it. Oh yeah, that was. It's a jump scare from 2 years ago.
I was going to say, it was a while ago, wasn't it, that you did that?
Yeah. Check out my podcast, Radio Wayfarer, where I did a radio show about the end of the world. It was very fun. Holy shit.
Take up for a wee plug there.
That was, oh my god, I've not plugged that in years. Oh. More content. What are you reading? What did you just finish? Tell me. Tell me everything.
So, I have just recently finished a book called The Undead Complex by Courtney Smith.
Ooh.
Smythe? I don't know. It's Smith, but with a Y, so it could be either.
Smithy.
The Y is in the middle of the word, not at the end.
Oh.
It's a Y instead of an I.
Smythe.
Well, that's what I would think, right? Anyway, it's the sequel to The Undetectables, which I read in January, I think, of this year.
Damn, okay.
I think I picked it up when we all went to Glasgow together. In Waterstones.
That was so long ago.
I know. The Undead Complex is the sequel to that. So it's about this group of witches who are... so in the first book, there's like mysterious murders, and these three witches who are like old friends and have all sort of come back to their hometown decide to investigate the murders and end up solving it. Spoiler at the end.
Oh my god.
I know. And then, so at the end of that book, they're like set up a PI agency. And so this book starts with them like as a PI agency, and there's, you know, new murder mystery to solve. And they're very fun, and there's a lot of gay shit. And it's just
love some gay shit.
they're just really good, really solid mysteries. And I also really like the covers. They're really cool.
Yeah. I love in spooky books when they set up like a PI agency or like our detectives. I just find that so fun.
Yeah. Have you ever read the Rivers of London ones?
I haven't, but I did own it for a while, but I never got around to reading it.
They're fun. I would describe them as fun. A bit weird, but fun.
Weird is always fun. I'm going to write that down. It's because I need spooky books, because I feel like I've not got a lot of spooky books that I'm picking this month to read.
Interesting. You can borrow my copy, because then you don't you don't have to keep it if you don't like it.
I'm sure I will. It's the red cover with like the map bit, but it's a river. Yeah, I can picture it. It was cute. It's a book that's not blue.
I know, right?
I'm so thankful.
Also, shout out to the Undetectables books, because the first one has purple on it, well, purpley pinky, and then the second one's greens. So no
even
blues
better.
here. The second one also has like a moth on the cover and some creepy fucking centipede-y things.
I love stupid little like insects on covers. If I stupid,
they have to specifically be stupid. If they're smart, Eve does not want them.
No, must be silly at all times. Cockroach with a party hat, for instance.
That would be a great band name.
That would be a great band name.
We've trademarked it right here, right
next
now.
podcast.
Nobody take that. It's ours.
No, that's copyrighted.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm not picking up enough spooky books. I need more spooky books this month. I feel it in my bones, in the wind.
'Tis the season, so you know.
Tis.
Tis.
Tis. I mean, I just started reading. One of our coworkers lent me a Box of Light. I'm gonna butcher this name. I'm so sorry. By Seiko Irisawa. Not entirely sure how to say it, but it's like a manga with short stories of like spooky happenings in one convenience store.
Oh.
And it's weird shit that keeps happening in it. Like there's a cat with one eye, like a cyclops one eye thing. There's a sentient creature that comes out of the fridge. It's really fun.
Sure.
I don't know how. The best way to read it is to not really know what's going to happen.
Right, yeah.
Because it's freaky. It's so freaky. I love it.
Cool.
But not freaky in a freaky way, but you know.
Freaky in a non-freaky way. Yeah.
In a woo
Yeah.
way.
Spookums.
Yeah. I'm also reading queer poetry book that I picked up this morning. It's an anthology of queer poems. It's very fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
I struggle. I have to be in exactly the right mood for poetry, and even then it's like...
That's fair.
hit or miss, you know?
It's because I'm trying to get back into writing poetry a lot, because I used to write tons of it.
I did not know this about you.
Oh. So I just decided to grab as many books as physically possible.
Fair. Yeah.
All of them.
Just all of the poetries.
All of the poetry books. I'm trying to find some good, like, sci-fi or fantasy poetry. Because they're bound to be. There's bound to be some good ones out there. But...
Yeah.
At the moment, I'm currently just in the pits of, like, miserable poetry. Great, but miserable.
Is that not a lot of poetry?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like a fairly significant chunk of all poetry is miserable poetry.
It is very sad. I think I read this one this morning about, like, I killed a man. I was like, okay, girl, pop off.
Good for you.
Like, congrats. Yeah. You read anything good?
Well, so...
With your 80-something books. I'm so mad at you.
Currently, I'm reading our book club book. So I'm not going to talk about that, because we'll talk about that. No
thoughts.
Which, just, in case anybody does not already know, is Bury Your Gaze by Chuck Dingle.
We totally didn't read a Chuck Dingle book last year as well. Camp Damascus, which was very fun.
It was.
You should go check out. It was so good.
Got a whole episode on it. Go listen. It was a really great one, and I am enjoying what I've read so far of Bury Your Gaze. Yeah, but because it is spookum bookum, I was like, I cannot read this at night time.
I made a terrible decision of reading it at uni, and so I'm just getting spookumed.
Yeah.
In a library. It was horrible.
Yeah, it's one of those ones that you've got to read, like, in daylight, curtains open, all the lights on. Yeah.
Definitely not alone.
No, preferably with at least one other person in the room.
Someone's in the house.
Oh god, don't say it like that. That makes it worse.
Someone's behind you.
Whoa.
I'm really enjoying the book. It's very fun.
I'm also reading a graphic novel.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I need something to read, at night. So I just started a graphic novel called Rainbow! ! It's about a teenager who, like, has a really vivid imagination, and she's like, she struggles sometimes to, like, separate her imagination from, like, the real world.
Oh, okay.
And has, like, really intense daydreams and stuff. And then she bumps into this other girl who has just started at her school, who's really cool, and develops a bit of a crush, and but is also going through, like, some shit at home. Like, the main character is going through some stuff at home with her mum, who's, like, an alcoholic. So yeah, it's good.
That sounds adorable. So
yeah, it was originally, I think, on Tapas, the webcomic.
Oh, I love Tapas. I used to be addicted to that site.
Yeah, we do.
So good.
But they've been publishing a few things as, like, actual physical books.
Oh, I love that. Hell yeah.
Over the past sort of couple of years or so. But yeah, I'm quite enjoying it.
Fuck yeah.
And it's a very different tone to Bury Your Gaze. So.
Cozy and lovely and wholesome.
Yeah, except for the, alcoholism and stuff.
Oh, yeah, no shit. I completely forgot you said that. Apart from trauma.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, my gosh. I need to read more graphic novels. I feel like I haven't read one since our graphic novel episode. Wait, that's actually... No. I did. I read more in the... I finished the Tea Dragon trilogy.
Oh, yeah.
I got around to finishing them. They were adorable. I've convinced our co-worker to read them as well.
Yes, I noticed he came in to buy
hell
one
yeah.
from work one day when I was in, and I was like, I saw that you can order it.
I am influencing.
I was like, I assume this is Eve's fault.
It's because I bought one at work, and I was like, you're gonna sit down and you're gonna read this here. And they did. He was subjected to my taste.
Yeah.
Anyway. And it was a good thing. And because I've read another book by Kay O'Neill, and it was very fun, but we'll get to that later. Yeah.
Okay. What about upcoming? Something that's on your TBR that you're planning to read soon.
I was at the library literally this morning picking up some books, and my hold of the new T. Kingfisher book just came in. So I'm gonna possibly read that. I'm not gonna lie, I've completely forgotten what it's about. All I know is the Sorceress Comes to Call. Is what it's called. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's dark and chilling. A dark retelling of Brothers Grimm's Goose Girl, which I don't think I've read. The original story for Goose Girl. I feel like I haven't.
No.
I feel like my bones. But it's a gorgeous cover, so I need to read it because we were.
It is a really nice cover with the trees.
I really like because it was like a pitch black like circle with the golden trees. It's so pretty. Oh. Mm-hmm. The T. Kingfisher's covers always pop off. You know?
Yeah.
They're always really good.
Yeah, they do.
Apart from like that US cover of Nettle and Bone where it's just someone's like back and someone's like half face. Wasn't a fan. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah,
it's
no,
not
that's
a good
not
one.
good.
But otherwise they kinda hit. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
enjoyed Nettle and Bone. Nettle and Bone was good.
I still haven't gotten around to it, but I've also picked that up from the library. So I think I'm going to get on my T. Kingfisher kick again that I had last year. Because I think...
Kingfisher.
I kicked T. Kingfisher. Because I read a lot last year, so I'm going to read a lot of them again.
Got a feeling
that tonight's gonna be T. Kingfisher night. And they're like relatively cozy sometimes, T. Kingfisher. Gruesome, but cozy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially the Edgar Allan Poe one, which I read. It was kind of like, oh my god, the mushroom is making me feel sick. Haunting me.
Yeah. I've got a couple sort of coming up that I'm trying to decide which one to read. Like next. Mm-hmm. So I read book 2 in the Foundry Side series recently.
Is it good?
Shorefall. I really liked it.
Yes. Okay. Great.
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was very good.
Because I want to read that before the end of the year. I haven't got around to it yet.
So I'm like, book 3 maybe might be one of my next, which is Locklands.
Yes.
Obviously by Robert Jackson Bennett, of course. Yeah, they're really good fun. The first one is all about this thief who has the ability to like interact with the magical enchanted devices. Yeah. That like basically are involved with like keeping the city that she's in functional. She ends up discovering that there's like a deeper thing going on. Yeah. It's really hard to talk about the plot without spoiling.
Right? Because
and I cannot talk about the plot of books 2 or 3 without also spoiling things.
I would say for that book, don't read the blurb because it spoils a lot. For the first book, anyway. Like, I feel that if I didn't know some things that happened in the blurb.
Yeah. I would also definitely not read descriptions of books 2 or 3 before you've read it. Because the blurb of book 2 definitely spoils book 1.
Nice.
And I'm pretty sure the blurb of book 3 spoils book 2. So don't read the blurbs, basically. Yeah. Trust us, read the first one, and then see if you like them. And you will.
If you've made it this far in the podcast and don't trust us yet, for shame. That's better.
Fair. Oh, right. Huh? Okay, yeah, for shame. Yeah, no, yeah.
I love sigil magic. I'll just put that in there. I love the magic system so much.
The magic system is so cool. It's all about like what do they call it? Scriving.
Ancient. Yeah.
And it's all about this like ancient language that's like the language of reality.
Right.
And if you like carve the runes in the right order and connected in the right way onto a thing, you can convince it that reality is slightly different than it thinks.
I love it so much. Doors that never open.
So like, or like crossbow bolts that have been scribed to think that they've been falling from a great height for a really, really long time so that they could shoot really fast.
Pretty much like a fucking rocket gun.
Yeah, it's really clever. I love the magic system in these books. It's so smart.
I kind of wish that we got the runes, to be honest, because I love a little fantasy language. I love it.
I'm trying to decide whether to read book 3 of that, or I might read Children of Time by Adrian Tchaikovsky next, because I've had that one on my TBR for a little while, and I've liked the Adrian Tchaikovsky books. I think I've only read one of his, but I have read
Cyborg one.
Service Model. That's about the robot butler who.
Yeah, that one sounded cool.
Has to go on a quest to learn things.
Sure is.
That one is good. I would definitely recommend that one.
Yeah, I tried to read the other one.
It's a bit like Sam for the Wild Built, but less philosophical. Okay. It's like a different tone, but a similar vibe of like, what is purpose?
I love Sam for the Wild Built. That actually makes me want to read it a bit more. Hell yeah.
Yeah, it was really good. I really enjoyed it. It was really quite funny.
Yay.
So yeah, I've been meaning to read more Adrian Tchaikovsky because I know that he's written like a bajillion books.
The little index page where it says everything they've written, it scares me.
Yeah. It's like, oh look, more. It just keeps going.
Unlike Terry Pratchett where it's literally like, oh my god. How
Terry Pratchett where there's like 40 or 50
how
books.
Did you do this?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh my god.
So it'll very much depend on where I'm at. Basically, really, when I finish this graphic novel, because I need something else to be reading at the same time as Chuck Dingle. I need something that I can continue to read at night until I finish Bury Your Gaze.
I will say that Chuck Dingle is really, really good at making me feel really like uneasy.
Yeah, I think about like 50 or 60 pages in, and it's already the creepy vibes.
Right.
Just like it's really good at putting you in that headspace of like I'm spooked.
I'm not okay.
The slightest noise will give me a heart attack right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I cannot read like too gory books. I really can't. So like Chuck Dingle's like perfect little balance. Like still kind of icky from like Camp Damascus throwing up those bugs.
Yeah.
But I don't think this one's too icky. This one's been pretty fine so far. Gory. No.
I would just say that quite early on there's something quite gory that happens.
Well, I mean,
you're like, it's not that bad.
Yeah, it's not that bad. Hey, we were throwing up bugs in the last book. I think this one's okay. This little... Okay, maybe it's not okay.
You can find out more about that in our episode about it that comes out in a couple of weeks, where we will talk more about Bury Your Gaze. But yes, fun. So it'll depend on what mood I'm in, whether I read Locklands or Children of Time next, but I think it's going to be one of the two.
Nice. I have to be in a really specific mood for high sci-fi.
Yeah.
I like to call it fantasy there. Or sci-fi. It's just because we're so used to reading.
It's because we read so much fantasy.
We read a lot of fantasy.
Yeah.
Because it's... Are we going to do Halloween books?
I think so. I think
so.
I hate to disappoint, but I can't think of anything right now to
Me
rant
neither.
about.
I've still got Dragon Age on the mind.
It's just that, like,
in my little noggin.
There's nothing that's really bugged me recently.
Yeah.
Enough that I need to rave about it.
Yeah. Or like anything good at the moment, or I feel like I need to rave about it.
Yeah.
In the book world, at least.
Yeah.
You know? So.
Yeah. I think it's just... It's weird because, like, September, October is a really busy publishing time. Mm-hmm. So there should be something, but...
right?
Yeah.
I feel that there has been nothing. I've heard nothing this month.
Yeah, I've just not had anything to, like... Yeah. Nothing has inspired such passion in me
nothing
that I can properly
rant
and rave about it.
We'll say this and then something disastrous will happen for next
There'll be
month.
something that happens like between us recording this and us putting it out, and everyone's going to be like, why didn't they talk about it? Everyone.
An author killed a man.
3 people who will listen to this episode.
Yes. Us.
Anyway.
Yes. Let's do some because it's October, let's do some fantastic little spooky book recommendations.
Some spookum bookums.
Little spookum bookums.
Yeah.
I don't know if this counts as a spookum bookum, but I'm going to go with it anyway.
Of course you are, yes.
Because I think it's got the vibe. It takes place at night.
Yep.
That's what they count as spookum, you know? Darkness.
Sure, uh-huh.
Yeah. The Moth Keeper by Kay O'Neill. I finally got around to reading it. It's a standalone graphic novel about the Moth Keepers, as in the name, the Moth Keeper, where there is two towns, one that lives in the daytime and one that lives at the nighttime. And the nighttime town has moth keepers who protect these like spiritual glow-in-the-dark moths that are meant to like fertilize this tree in their town. It's very rooted in their religion. There's tons of different like fantastical races that are portrayed. It's very queer and it's just so cute. And I love it so much. The main character at one point goes to like the daytime town and I was like, what the hell is wrong with you guys? Why is it so warm? I've never seen the sun before. It's very, very sweet and it's all about loneliness. It's terrible. I love it. Tear up. I teared up. For some reason I couldn't find anywhere in the UK to buy, so I had to get a stupid little rainforest edition. You know?
It is a problem sometimes, especially with graphic novels. I find there's quite a lot that are just not published in the UK.
Publish your books in the UK. There's a rant. Publish your books in the UK. I want to read them.
Normally, to be fair, I would say most of the time it's not the author's fault.
No. Send me specifically copies of your books. Kay O'Neill, please.
Yeah.
Please. Your books are great.
I recently read one. Let me just... Yes, it is out. Okay, good. It was approved, so I wasn't sure if it was actually come out yet. Which I think came out last month, September. It's called Old Wounds by Logan Ashley Kisner. Kisner. Which is about these two trans teenagers. One who's a trans girl, one who's a trans guy. And they are running away from their like small town in like Ohio where so it's like the trans girl, she has a pretty supportive family. They're like, she's like transitioning and has been like on and like all this stuff. And the trans guy has a really not supportive family. So he wants to run away. They used to date.
Okay.
In the before times. When she, I think, had transitioned and he hadn't yet. And then they broke up and haven't talked for like 2 years. And then he comes to her and is like, I'm running away to California where it's better for trans people. Come with me. And so they go on a road trip. And you're like, oh, this is nice. And then they end up in the middle of fucking nowhere in this creepy little fucking town where there's only men because they have been sacrificing all of the women to this monster that only eats girls.
Didn't expect that.
That's what you do. And so then it's all about these two trans teenagers trying to like get away and, you know, not get eaten by the monster and not get, you know, killed or anything by the men. And obviously the whole time they're like, if this monster comes for us, who's it gonna go for? Is it a transphobe or not?
Does it recognise?
It was like, it was really good. Proper creepy, proper spooky, but really good. Very good vibes. Like classic, like monster in the fucking...
Oh, yeah.
Monster in the woods, you know, horror. Would definitely recommend. You know, it's good vibes. It's very sort of Andrew Joseph White vibes.
Oh, brilliant! Yes, I didn't expect that the monster in the woods. I thought we were about to do like a little cozy, wholesome one, and then that's taken me off guard.
No, we're talking about Spookum Bookums. So,
this is very true.
I don't know why you would expect it to be nice and cozy. It's Spookum
Of course
Bookums.
not. Why would you do that? Oh my gosh, that sounds really good though. I like it.
Would definitely recommend.
Hell yeah. I read this ages ago, but Gallant by V.E. Schwab, which for some reason on Storygraph says it's Victoria Schwab. That took me off guard. They full named her. Gallant was very fun. It's mixed format in the sense it's prose and letters. I really love a book with letters in it. Delightful. And they're all like they're all designed to look aged and stuff. I find it very fun. I think one's torn as well to like so you don't have all the information. Very fun. But our main character Olivia grew up in kind of like an all girls school. And she only has like her mother's journal and her mother like died through like mysterious means. But a letter arrives asking her to come to the house, quote unquote, Gallant, the name of the book.
Thank you for that. It's really important.
It's really important. Yeah. It's a bit full of the House of Usher. But no one's like expecting her to arrive at the house, and she meets people at the house, like her cousin Matthew, who's currently living there, is really hostile towards her. And supposedly there is ghouls haunting the hallways. So it's very full of the House of Usher. She has to kind of like uncover the secrets of the house and what's currently stalking her in the night. It's very fun. It's a mute main character. I found that was a very interesting way of how she communicated with everyone around her as well. Yeah. It was very fun. It's freaky. I love it.
Bet. It sounds it.
There's something not quite right. It's not mushrooms this time. Fall of the House of Usher. It's not mushrooms.
Not mushrooms.
Not mushrooms. Yet. For now. For now. There's also another V.E. Schwab coming out next year about lesbian vampires who hate each other. Absolutely. And I cannot wait. I'm so excited. So excited.
Gotta love a, lesbian vampire.
Exactly. As soon as she said it was going to be lesbian vampires, I lost my shit. Angsty lesbian vampires, specifically. Do you have one more?
Yes. I've actually got a couple more, but I'll skip a couple because it's fine.
Okay.
I was going to say Camp Damascus, but we sort of talked about that anyway.
Yeah, Camp Damascus by Chuck Tingle.
Camp Damascus by Chuck Tingle. We've got a whole episode on it. Go listen.
Very good, very good.
And I've talked a lot about Andrew Joseph White's books.
Mm-hmm. Also very good.
Hell Followed With Us and The Spirit Bears Its Teeth, and he's got a new one that came out last month sometime that I haven't read yet. But also Our Wives Under the Sea.
Yes.
By Julia Arnfield. Which is like creepy ocean horror.
Yeah.
And it's got really creepy, yucky vibes. And I loved it. It was fantastic. I don't know how else to describe it without spoiling like the plot.
Yeah.
But it's about a woman whose wife was on like a deep sea mission, research mission, and then they heard like nothing, and then she came back from the deep sea mission, and nobody will tell anybody anything about what happened on the mission, but ever since she's come back, she's been not quite right.
Not okay.
And it's spookies.
Very spookies.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to add that to this month's TBR. Because I never actually got... No. I started it.
Oh.
I started it, but I never got around to actually like reading it properly. I read like the first chapter. And because I'm an idiot who reads many books at the same time.
Yeah.
And some of these get lost in the 8 or 9 that I'm currently reading. Yeah. Isn't that good? Yeah. I need to get rid of it because I gifted it to my friend who's read it and wants to talk to me about it as well. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. Haven't actually read it.
Shameful.
I know, I'm a fake fan. My last one is a really well-known podcast called Welcome to Night Vale. It is the novelization of Welcome to Night Vale. I would listen to the podcast first. At least like the first 2 seasons and then read this. It is very fun. Or go over straight into this because it kind of spoils some relationship stuff. But It is a town called Night Vale, and it is about the local radio host who kind of... Well, Night Vale in general is about the radio host who discuss the strange happenings that happen in the town. There's smiling gods. There's really creepy stuff. The dog park you don't go into because it doesn't have dogs in it. And there's a really non-discreet government agency watching you at all times. It's a really, really kooky book and a really kooky podcast, and I love it so much. This book is about, I think, 3 of, like, maybe 2 or 3 of the side characters from the podcast. And it's about... Because one of them owns a pawn shop, and there's a side character comes from there. It's really hard to, like, describe if you haven't really listened to it, but it's very kooky. It's very fun. And it's kind of spooky, but in a kind of cozy way. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah. Yes, it's cozy horror.
Cozy horror.
Yeah.
There we go.
It's definitely, for sure, a thing.
Yeah, somehow.
Yep.
There's aliens and ghosts and angels, and you don't talk about the angels, because angels aren't real in this. I don't think describing this book has helped me losing the plot.
Not really, no.
Not really. I'm getting very giggly. But yes. Have you got any more before we...
No, I'm all out. I'm all tapped out.
Tapping out. Fabulous. Well, this has been another fantastic episode of Talking in the Tavern. Here at Hearth and Tome.
Yeah. It's been a bit of a mess. We apologise.
We've somehow recorded in October. I think you guys should be proud of us.
Yeah.
or
just
at
how
least
these things happen, you know.
Yeah.
We get one thing right, and so everything else has to go wrong.
This month's book club book is Chuck Tinkle's book.
Yes, Bury Your Gaze.
Bury Your Gaze. Thank you.
That will be out in a couple of weeks.
Yes.
I mean, the book is already out. The book is already out in a couple of weeks.
And you can listen to us again. Talk about it.
Because
it's gonna be
obviously
great.
After this episode, people will want to hear our thoughts again.
Exactly. Bury Your Gaze is a really, really fun book about our main character who is a movie writer, and suddenly they realise something strange is happening around them as kind of creepy happenings. I don't know what's on the blurb, so I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah, it's
creepy.
It's horror.
It's horror.
And it's set in Hollywood.
Exactly. It's very fun.
Yeah.
People die.
Fun is a word for it.
But other than that, we're having one more book this year, which is our November pick, which is going to be Star Trek: The High Country by John Jackson Miller, which is also going to be very fun.
It's a tie-in to Star Trek: Strange New Worlds.
Yeah.
So I obviously, I mean, I would recommend watching the show anyway.
I would always recommend watching the show. The show's amazing.
This one might make a little bit less sense, perhaps, on its own.
Yes. Or at
than
least
some other things.
Yeah.
But frankly, if you're not watching Strange New Worlds, what the fuck are you doing with your life? Because it's a fantastic show.
So fucking good.
It's so good.
Go watch Star Trek. Go.
Yeah.
Go. I'm assuming you're gone. It's a really fun...
And that's it. We can just stop recording now.
Yeah, it was nice to see you again, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, that's coming out in November because we're not having this year a December pick for book club. We are instead doing
Drum roll.
Hearth and Tome Choice Awards, where we're going to go through
Choice Awards.
a bunch. We're going to go through a bunch of books that all the books that we have read for book club with categories. Yes. It's going to be very fun.
We've got some categories, and we're going to go through all of the books we've read for book club this year and last year, exactly. And some of them will get awards for being good, and some of them will get awards for being less good, and
and some of them
might not get any awards. And basically what we're going to do is we're each going to sort of nominate a book for each category, and then we're going to discuss and decide which of the nominees is most deserving of the award in question.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you have that to look forward to. I think it's going to be very fun.
That's going to be the only thing we have in December.
Yes.
Because December.
It's December.
it's a busy time of year at work for us.
Oh, dear,
it's a busy time of year just generally, and
I can feel
we don't want to.
her defrosting. I can feel the song defrosting, okay?
Yeah.
It's not okay.
Yeah. So that means that after this, there are 4 more episodes of this show left for this year. So, Chuck Tingle, Bury Your Gaze.
Yes.
This month.
Go read it.
Then we'll have another Talking in the Tavern next month. And then Star Trek The High Country also next month. And then the Hearth and Dome Choice Awards.
Dun, dun, dun.
In December. Which cannot possibly have worse outcomes than the Goodreads Choice Awards.
Yeah.
Shots fired.
That's the rant we're getting next month.
If you're out there and you use Goodreads, use Storygraph instead. It's better.
Exactly.
So yeah, we will see you in a couple of weeks to talk about Chuck Tingle.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us here at the Tavern. Phoenix, where can our listeners find you outside the podcast?
They can find me on Twitter, Blue Sky, Threads, or Instagram, all under @beansandfungi. What about you?
You can find me, Eve, under Cozy Crow on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube.
And of course, make sure that you follow the podcast on Instagram @HearthAndTomePod, Twitter @HearthAndTome, TikTok @Hearth.and.tome, and YouTube @HearthAndTomePod to get updates about when episodes go live, behind the scenes stuff, all that good shit.
Bye! The music used within this episode was Wholesome by Kevin MacLeod through Incompetech.com. Licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 4.0 license.